have a lifelong goal of being able to dunk. Since I started playing basketball when I was 14, I aspired to be athletic. Childhood obesity and never playing organized sports kinda got in the way of that. But hey, better late than never. I still have some weight to lose, but I'm no longer morbidly obese. While I haven't played organized sports, I've had the privilege of training with and learning from people who have been athletic in their life. This is going to be a long journey. I have a lot of work to do with my jump mechanics. I need to lose more weight, and I need to get stronger if I want to be able to dunk. All things considered, I feel like we made some pretty good progress so far in the last few months. Let's check it out. Just for context, I have just under a 6'4" wingspan and my standard reach is 7'9".
Just feels awkward, man.
Honestly, at the start of this, I had no idea what I was doing. I was kind of just trying anything. To be fair, it seemed like it was working. Week by week, I felt like I was jumping a little higher. Things felt easier. Even my low jumps felt higher than normal. So I can't really blame myself too much because whatever I was doing seemed to be working. I'm kind of simming through the first 50 days or so because I already made a video on that. I went from barely dunking on 8.5 feet off 2 to be able to dunk off vert and get some much cleaner dunks with the running start. I also went from not being able to dunk on 9 feet at all to consistently being able to dunk on 9 feet off 1. Safe to say, I increased my vert by at least a few inches in the first 50 days. But, as we all know, progress isn't linear. I knew it would slow down at some point. Toward the end of the 50 days, with fatigue setting in, my progress pretty much stalled. So, I took a couple weeks off to let my body recover, and then it was time for the next 50 days of training. Alright, this is my first jump session back after the 2-week break. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, but I wasn't expecting the greatest performance ever just because I was a bit out of the rhythm. I hadn't jumped at all in 2 weeks. But, to my surprise, your boy was jumping pretty good, at least by my standards. This was definitely my best dunk session up to this point. I was just feeling good, no tight muscles, didn't feel sore, didn't feel fatigued. But yeah, I was throwing down some of my best dunks and even trying new stuff I had never tried before. I definitely needed that rest break, that did a lot for me. And while it was exciting, I didn't want to get ahead of myself. There's still a lot more work to do. And I knew I wasn't going to feel like this every day. You can't always feel at your best. Alright, well, this session was a lot of fun, but let's get to the next one. I think there's something interesting to learn here. I wanted to try throwing myself some laws because you can jump higher without the ball than you can with it, but that was a whole nother challenge in itself. Lobbing the ball to yourself is really a skill. Professional dunkers make it look way easier than it is. I really struggle with this. It's probably going to take me a while to get it down. So, after a few more failed attempts, we went back to just dunking regular. Remember what I said about not expecting my best performance last time? Well, I came into this session with pretty low expectations, and I somehow was jumping even higher again. It's probably not that noticeable on camera, but I definitely felt the difference, and I even got some dunks that I've never gotten before. This is definitely the cleanest dunk I've gotten off 2 feet on a 9-foot rim. And after that, I was feeling a bit bold, feeling a little ambitious. So I decided to raise the rim up even higher to 9.5 feet. First, I did a couple jump tests just to see where I was at, and then we got the ball involved. I think we can pretty much conclude that I'm not there yet, but it is coming soon. This one right here, if it was in game, I definitely would have counted it, but this is not in game. We're talking about practice, so that does not count. After those attempts on 9.5 feet, my legs were pretty much shot. I didn't really have anything left in the tank, and then the wind did this to my camera, so it was pretty much GG's for the day. The legendary Coach Jay is back again. Today was nothing but hill work. Obviously, I want to jump higher, but I also want to be a better athlete in general. And doing these plyos and sprints on the hill is going to help me get there. So yeah, it was a lot of pain, but also a lot of fun, and just knowing that I'm making progress and working towards my goals is always a good feeling. But after this day, I'd been playing a lot of basketball and doing a lot of jumping, so my legs were pretty much shot, and I was starting to get shin splints. I didn't want my progress to stop, but I knew I needed to do something different. So, it was time to hit the shed gym and work on my strength. Alright, after a couple weeks of hitting the weights, my legs were feeling stronger, my shins were feeling recovered. It was time to do what I love to do, jump. So, let's go back outside and get back to dunking. This is a little beyond the scope of this challenge, but I do have a regret. I've mentioned before that I've been playing basketball for a while now. I have a lot of memories on the court, more than I can count. I've loved basketball for a long time now. And the main point of this channel is to document my progress of getting better at basketball. My regret is that I didn't document more from the beginning. Yeah, it's definitely not too late, and I am still doing it now, and I'm definitely not where I want to be or where a lot of other people are. But I do think it would have been cool to show when I literally couldn't jump at 300 plus pounds. Like, maybe not quite literally, but my vert was probably about 6 inches. I'm not even exaggerating. I remember vividly in high school the first time I touched the net, and that was an accomplishment for me. It's just crazy when I look back on things like that, and it gives me a lot of perspective. So while there are thousands and thousands of people in the world that jump way higher than me, I jump way higher than I once did, and hopefully in a few years, I'll be able to look back on this vid and say the same thing to myself. I started this challenge in March. It is now August, well over 100 days later. And while the warm-ups and stretches can be a bit of a drag at times, I've never lost a spark. I always look forward to the dunk sessions. It's fun every single time. Even if this is about progress and getting better, there have definitely been times throughout this training and just playing basketball in general where I've taken things too seriously. And although that has led to a lot of progress short term, it leads to me burning out at times, and I end up having to take a break. So in the end, I end up getting less work in than if I just kept it fun. I think that's the best part about keeping things fun. You look forward to it every day. You're gonna be a lot more consistent with it. And I've been as consistent as I can be with this dunk journey. But I have my physical limits. I know that my weight is holding me back and that I can't jump as much as I would like to. So this journey is far from over. But I definitely think we've come a long way. I'm excited to see where we'll be in another 100 days. Appreciate y'all for watching. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.